All right, let's break down everything that just happened in the latest episode of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. We're going to get into the ancient laws, the crazy prophecies, and the alliances that have put our hero, Sir Duncan the Tall, in an absolutely impossible spot. Let's dive in.
So the whole thing kicks off with this central question. Dunk, trying to do the right thing, ends up hitting Prince Aerion Targaryen. Now, he's just a hedge knight with no money and no friends in high places going up against the royal family. I mean, survival is looking pretty bleak. So how does he possibly get out of this alive? Well, it turns out his only shot comes down to three things, and we're going to unpack all of them. First, there's this really obscure and super dangerous ancient law. Then there's a cryptic prophetic dream. And finally, the massive challenge of actually finding 6 other guys willing to die for him. Okay, let's start with that law. So Dunk gets offered a trial by combat, but Prince Aerion doesn't just want a one-on-one duel. No, he goes for something way older, way stranger, and way, way deadlier, a trial of 7. So what is a trial of 7? It's basically an ancient tradition from the Faith of the Seven. The idea is that if you have 7 champions on each side, which is, a holy number, the gods themselves will step in and make sure the right side wins. It's not just a duel, it's a full-on, divinely judged battle. But that's the weird part, right? Aerion is a prince. He's been trained by the best fighters in the kingdom. He should be pretty confident he could take Dunk in a straight-up duel. So why make it this chaotic 7-on-7 brawl? What's he really playing at? And here's the genius of it. It's a trap. See, Aerion's not trying to win the fight. He's trying to make sure the fight never even happens. He knows Dunk is poor, he knows he doesn't have powerful friends. He's betting everything that Dunk can't find 6 other knights to fight with him. And if he can't, he's automatically guilty. Game over. And just to give you an idea of how completely insane this trial is, look at this number, 93%. Just let that sink in. That was the death rate the last time a trial of 7 happened in Westeros. This isn't just a trial, it's basically a death sentence for almost everyone who steps on that field. And if you're wondering where that terrifying number comes from, here it is. More than 160 years ago, Maegor the Cruel fought the Faith militant in a trial of 7. 14 men walked onto that field. 13 of them died. The only one left standing was Maegor himself, and even he was so messed up, he was in a coma for almost 2 weeks. So, as if a nearly certain death trial wasn't enough to worry about, Dunk gets hit with a supernatural threat, too. This one comes from the newly revealed Prince Daeron Targaryen, a guy known for having prophetic dreams, usually when he's drunk. So Daeron, who has that Targaryen dragon dream gift, tells Dunk about this vision he had, and it is unsettling. A fire, a giant dead dragon falling on top of him, but Dunk is somehow still alive. In an age with no more dragons, what could that possibly mean? Okay, so there are 2 main ways to read this. The first is metaphorical for right now. The dragon is just a symbol for a Targaryen, probably Prince Aerion, and Dunk is going to defeat him. But the second interpretation is literal, and it's a huge piece of foreshadowing for something called the tragedy at Summerhall decades from now, where both Dunk and an older egg reportedly die in a massive fire. So with the deadly rules of the trial set and this really dark prophecy hanging over his head, Dunk has to deal with his most immediate problem. How on earth does he find 6 knights willing to face a 93% chance of dying, all for his honor? Let's just look at how the teams are stacking up. Team Aerion is, well, it's the establishment. You've got 3 princes, 3 members of the Kingsguard, the most elite warriors in the kingdom, and some other guy who was bought off with the promise of a lordship. And Team Dunk? Well, it's a motley crew of guys looking for glory, guys looking for revenge, and a brand new knight. And they're still missing a guy. And this really gets to the heart of why everyone is fighting. Aerion's guys are there because they have to be. It's duty, it's orders from the king, or it's just plain old greed. But Dunk's champions, they're fighting because they chose to, for things like honor, glory, or just a simple sense of justice. A perfect example is Sir Humphrey Harding. Aerion didn't just beat him in the tourney, he was incredibly cruel, killed his horse right under him, broke his leg. So for Humphrey, this isn't even about Dunk, this is personal. As he says himself, the debt is Aerion's and we mean to collect it. He's there for revenge, plain and simple. And then we get this absolutely incredible moment where a new knight is literally made right on the spot. Sir Raymun Fossoway takes a bribe to fight for Aerion, totally betraying Dunk.
His cousin, Raymun, is so disgusted by this that he declares for Dunk instead. The only problem is, Raymun's just a squire. So Lyonel Baratheon knights him right then and there. Ramin then changes his family's red apple sigil to a green one, a powerful symbol, saying it's better green than wormy. Just an amazing scene. So, the clock is ticking. They're still one night short, and Dunk is totally out of options. He's forced to make this desperate, last-ditch appeal to all the nobles who have gathered to watch. After getting mocked and taunted by the brute of Bracken, Dunk just roars this question at the whole crowd. It's his raw, powerful cry, basically asking if the entire idea of being a true knight of honor has just completely died. And nothing. Just silence. It really looks like it's over for him. His cause is lost. But then, you hear the sound of a horse riding onto the field. And in a moment that changes absolutely everything, one man answers the call. That man is Prince Baelor Targaryen, the Hand of the King, the heir to the Iron Throne. And his choice is the absolute turning point of this whole story. He isn't just picking a team, he is choosing justice over his own blood. He tells everyone that Dunk was just doing what a true knight is sworn to do, protect the innocent. He can't legally stop the trial, but by joining Dunk's side, he's sending a message loud and clear to the entire realm about where real honor stands. So, the sides are finally even, 7 against 7, an heir to the throne fighting alongside a hedge knight against his own family. Which leaves us with one final question. Are the gods actually going to deliver justice on that field? Or is that terrifying 93% death rate about to claim a whole new set of victims?